851, turn right heading 180. 14 Papa, turn right 245, report localizer established 27.
It's been a very quiet 2 weeks in the aviation world, hence the lack of uploads, but as soon as things do pick back up, videos will be back to being more frequent. The Queen of the Skies has had another tough week for aviation enthusiasts around the world, with one major change and another updated retirement I'll be covering today. The focus surrounds the usual suspects being Qantas and in addition KLM, who are the two in question that have either gone through a major change or really an updated overview of the future with the aircraft. We'll begin with Qantas, who earlier this week finally said goodbye to their Boeing 747. While this had been announced, it didn't mean Qantas were unable to celebrate the farewell, something sadly a number of airlines around the world with this pandemic being unable to do. Qantas hosted a number of farewell flights domestically throughout Australia that gave enthusiasts and crew the opportunity to send off the 747 in style and potentially get in one final ride on the aircraft. Now, even if the retirement did not come as naturally as they would have first hoped, they still made the most of it. These retirement flights are many UK aviation enthusiasts are hoping British Airways will also do, following the announcement that they'll be retiring their 747s with immediate effect, also due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The aircraft with Qantas was originally meant to depart at year's end, but the pandemic and lack of international travel demand, which for Australia sits at zero and will likely remain at zero until well into 2021, meant removing an aircraft like the 747 now was the best course of action for saving money going forward. Flying to the Californian desert for scrap, the aircraft has played a major role in Qantas's growth from international routes to transporting countless people around the world. Shortly after departing, the aircraft flew low over Sydney to say goodbye, before it drew a big Qantas roux. This time the roux had the little paw-like hand. That's something that, a fun fact, is notably missing from the new modernised Qantas livery, unveiled many years ago, and definitely received its fair share of attention, as many people were confused how a kangaroo essentially loses its paw-like hand. Qantas, though, first flew the Boeing 747 in 1971, meaning the jet was in service with different variants with Qantas for almost 50 years, half a century. This is an incredible achievement, talking about how long an aircraft series typically lasts nowadays within operations. If we have a look at Emirates, while their business model is not exactly identical, they are constantly switching up the aircraft they operate and do not want to keep a set aircraft in for too long, even if it is something like the Airbus A380. Now moving on to KLM, who also provided a crucial update regarding the future of their remaining 747s. You may be a little bit confused and wondering why this is the case. This is especially so after I mentioned that they would be announcing the aircraft with immediate effect many months ago. While 3 Boeing 747s did actually remain to help transport key medical supplies, KLM has announced that these remaining ones, though, will be leaving the airline in October of this year. KLM explained their decision by noting, "The demand from the Dutch government for the medical supplies is decreasing to such an extent that KLM will be able to provide transport with the regular capacity again in the future." Ultimately, the Queen of the Skies impact will be everlasting, and while it's truly devastating to see the aircraft disappear the way they have done in the past few months, it will actually continue to live on, and its everlasting impact, in my opinion, on the industry will be felt for decades to come. We can all consider, I think, ourselves pretty lucky that we were indeed around when the 747 was flying worldwide. Thank you very much for tuning into another video of mine. As I mentioned at the start of the video, they're not coming out as often as not much has been going on, and that's just down to the pandemic. As things get a little bit more started, I'll be back to the regular, hopefully daily uploads. Take care, stay safe, and I will see you all in the next video.